Well, we don't have free speech rights to post whatever we want online anymore, being here in the UK and all. Just kidding. It's California. But same problem? Governor Newsom has a stack of bills on his desk right now. Nothing good that might actually help Californians, LOL. No, they're legislative bills like 495, which you've heard me talk a lot about. But also there's another real icky McNasty on his desk, SB 771. It's just as unconstitutional and legally indefensible, which seems to be a theme, but why? Good thing I've got your basics. Essentially, 771 would allow civil penalties of up to $1 million, not against individuals, but against social media platforms when their algorithms amplify content that violates state civil rights laws like harassment, threats, discrimination, as they could label it, even if the person creating the content is doing so under the law. Thank goodness for the Supremacy Clause, our constitutional freedoms still trump state constitutions, yeah? What 771 aims to do is let speech police in California get around that pesky Section 230, and they're planning to do that by separating what social media platform algorithms do from the content itself. Remember, 230 shields online platforms from being held liable for user-generated content and for good faith efforts to moderate that content. This bill's sneaky, though, and would let the state claim they aren't really attacking free speech under 771. So in order to avoid liability, the platforms would have to preemptively suppress or remove a ton of content, most likely lawful speech. But the First Amendment right to free speech protection still stands, and it allows for a thing called editorial discretion, meaning publishers and platforms can decide what content to display and also which to promote or suppress. Laws that try to manipulate or penalize those decisions infringe on free speech rights, but because nobody wants $1 million fine per incident, platforms could start suppressing or removing anything that could maybe potentially be a problem. Again, major censorship issues with that. The bill's language is also super vague, like pretty much all legislation in Cali, and would give the state near total control in determining what qualifies as amplify or reckless or willful. Then there's the whole equal protection due process issue. 771 could lead to the unjustly targeting of certain types of speech or minority voices or particular criticisms, like say, in opposition to a bill. No one wants threats or hateful speech out there, but infringing on free speech rights in this way is dangerous, overly broad, and gives discretionary power to charge millions in fines to heavily prejudiced state leadership. Courts don't like any of this, by the way, and judicial precedent has favored platforms and their editorial rights in the past. Knowing Newsom and the near total lack of concern he's giving the state lately, he'll probably sign it, and then it's headed for lawsuit city, so I'll keep you updated. But as always, I want to know what you think about this. Tell me in the comments.